Hey, what's going on, everybody? We're going to talk about self-care a little bit more today. I'm Robert.
I'm Keith, and this is the Daily Hat Wearing Chronicle, because we were wearing hats today. I don't know why I found that to be important, but this is the Chronicle. It's More in Common's opportunity to just chronicle our day, to leave behind the process that we are going through to achieve the things that we want to achieve for our kids, for us to look back on, and ultimately in hopes to build some community with others who are doing the same. So self-care revisited. What you mean?
Yeah. Got a couple. So we did a self-care video a ways back, and I got some questions personally, so I just figured you and I could address them.
Yeah.
How we would address them. So the first question was, now that you have mom and kids to take care of, how do you balance that with self-care? And then there's a second question, which we'll get to. And that first part, it is an ever-growing circus show, a shit show, if you will. I will say the way that I do it, and sometimes get it right, often fail at it, is by working to be extremely present in whatever I'm doing, whether I'm with my daughter or my mom or my wife or with Keith, or playing board games with some dads I know or some friends. Whatever I'm doing is what I'm doing, and that is the only thing, and I can give it all of my intention. So in a minute, when we're done with this and I go meditate, that's the thing I'm doing. That's my 12 minutes. It's my 15 minutes. It's my 21 minutes. And that helps me be extremely present in it, but be okay with just doing it. And the more that I'm present with it, the more I give to it and the more I get out of it. And then it's on to the next thing. The thing that I'm working on the most is that transition from one thing to the next. Because a lot of times it's boom, boom, boom. And it's hard because it's hard to switch and get into the state of the next thing. Sometimes I just take a couple of breaths when I remember, but when it's back-to-back meetings, sometimes I don't even get that second, I don't take that second to just take a couple of breaths. What about you, Keith? How do you?
Yeah, I think I'll take a little different spin on the question. I think that's really important factor in making sure that whatever it is I do for self-care is maximized. So when I have to do the things for the family, and by things I mean clean, do dishes, whatever it is, I'm not longing for me time, right? And thus I'm able to be present in the obligations, and I'm able to be present in the desire of being with my family, right? So I'm not sitting here going, oh, I need me time. No, I try to maximize that. And then I think the other thing that's important is communication, right? It is a constant, and by no means am I perfect at this. It is a constant conversation of, I need this. What can you have? What can we trade off? What can you have? And in our house, it's not as easy, where my wife may not have as many things that I care, many extra things like I do. But it's an effort of conversation, communication. And I give a lot to my family to make sure that balance is there, and she doesn't feel like she is completely doing everything around the house, and taking care of everything. And I try to be, I fail often at this, but I try to be as available to that and respectful to that balance as possible.
Yeah, that part, all of what you said, and that flexibility part is also really big, because there are times where I am sitting there and I'm like, man, I really need a minute. I need a minute to recharge. So then it's really important for me to say that. So and then start working on finding a space with the crew, with the team, with whomever I'm with, and then go from there. And I think that flexibility, sometimes I gotta not meditate until the middle of the day or till the afternoon or in the evening, when
or not
I really,
at all,
really like
honestly.
to start my day. I probably, it happens. It's a thing that happens for me every day.
That's fair.
It's just, is it at midnight or is it at 7 a.m. when I would like it? It really.
And you said with the meditation, is it a 5 minute? Is it a 10 minute? Is it a 21 minute? You'd love to have a 21-minute meditation every day and I'd
Right.
love to
Yeah,
have an
that's part of the
hour.
flexibility.
Right. That's part of the flexibility. And
Well,
I think,
and my answer, like, it happens, like, that goes back to prioritization. Like,
yeah,
you were gonna work out. You're gonna work out in the day. There maybe something happens you can't, but
right.
90% of the time you're gonna get it
Correct.
in.
Have
Yeah.
to. Yeah. And
Yeah.
also, like, if self-care, I would say if self-care is not, just answering that question, if self-care is not something that you do prioritize today and are having a hard time finding it, Rodney said it. Part of self-care is even those little things of chugging 24 ounces of water in the morning, right? And making sure you get your water in, or making sure that, you go to bed at a decent time so you can get a good night's sleep. Like, there are little things that we can do to build in self-care, especially if you're not doing it today. So, don't, like Rodney has said in the past, balance isn't about equal across all fields, right? It's about making sure that you get something from each of your priorities in life. So,
that in self-care part 2.
yeah.
I want to ask you, how do you balance the things that you have? Is it family? Is it multiple jobs? Is it a side hustle? Like, what is it that you're balancing, and how do you make sure that you give the attention that you need to the things that you're doing?
Yep. Deuces.